always working on my striking, wrestling, and grappling, and strength and conditioning. So even between camps, I've stayed in shape, and I think that was what was so unfortunate about this last fight. Was I was literally in the best shape of my life, and the best body composition of my life, and the best skill set wise I've ever been in my entire life. And then, it's a crazy sport full of crazy ups and downs, and life happens.
Yeah. Nashville's going to be what kind of scene is going to be there? Tell us about, like, where you're going to train, or are you still going to dip out to Florida for your camps? How's that going to work?
Yeah, so we move August 15th. I'm in plans are in the works as of right now, as we speak, to where I'm signing the lease on a facility there in Nashville. So I'm going to have my own gym. We'll do fitness, we'll do MMA, we'll do grappling, we'll do everything that a normal MMA gym plus a fitness gym would do. And we're going to focus on personal training, and group classes and group fitness and that kind of stuff, along with the MMA stuff, and along with me trying to build, a team there in Nashville. But things take time, so I've got some people in Nashville, some coaches, some training partners that are already there. Nashville MMA and some of the other gyms that are already established there. And from every conversation that I've had with everybody there, it's going to should be a smooth transition where I can come in and start training with a bunch of guys there in Nashville between camps. And if I have to pop down to Florida to get some grappling with Neil and get some striking with Henry and do some sparring and stuff down there, it's a quick 50-minute flight away instead of being all the way across the country. So it's exciting, man. You never really know how the future is going to unfold and how all these situations are going to work themselves out, but they always do. So I'm looking forward to it, and I'm looking forward to this next chapter of my life, and it's going to be extremely fruitful.
Like, how long did it take for you to get over that injury?
Yeah, it's crazy, man. I put in, I think the video you're referring to, I put in 5 miles that day. I put in 3.5 yesterday, and did a 2 a day. I hit pads in the morning and then did a 3.5 mile run yesterday. So it's crazy when I say my leg is literally back to normal. Because if you go back and watch the fight and you see the ankle roll and you see that I was definitely in a bad way, it looked like a really bad injury, but it was basically, when I rolled that ankle, I sustained nerve damage, and I had basically no motor function in my ankle, in my foot. So for a guy, you guys have seen every single one of my fights, for a guy like myself who is always coming forward, and I never fight off my back foot, I'm constantly coming forward. And even when I was injured, it was hard for me to stop myself and stop that natural movement of trying to come forward, But yeah, man, it was rolling under me, and it was crazy. And for about, I basically didn't have much pain. Obviously I rolled the ankle pretty darn bad. But I was walking around New York the next day. My wife and I spent 2 days in New York, so we walked around a little bit. Swelling and all that kind of stuff was definitely present, and it was definitely a little bit painful. But, walking around the city, didn't have a ton of pain, but I did have a paralyzed foot. Like, literally, I could walk, but it was as if my foot was just flopping, So I had basically a paralyzed lower leg for, 3-4 days straight, and then...
Wait, so when you were walking with your wife in New York, it would still occasionally flop? Like, you had to be careful with your stepping, your steps and all that?
No, so the weird thing is, if I was walking normal, just like a normal gait, like you walk, it was completely fine, because you lead with your knee. You lead with your knee, and, your heel lands, and then you walk forward. I can't describe it, I guess. But if I'm in my actual fight stance, and that leg is out in front of me, and that's my rudder to move to, it doesn't propel me forward. The back foot, you push off the back foot, but that front foot, it dictates where you go. If it goes straight forward, a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right. So fight stance, I was pretty much immobilized. But actual walking, as you can see, I walked out of the cage. They were like, okay, we need to get you crutches, we need to get you a stretcher, we need to get you that. And I'm like, no, I don't care if this thing's broken, which they all say was broken, but I knew it wasn't broken. I wanted to walk out of the cage. So I walked out of the cage, and I walked back to the back and walked all the way to the ambulance that they made me get in, and, had to go to the ER and all that kind of stuff. So I could walk. I just couldn't be in my fight stance, which, unfortunately, you have to be in your fight stance to fight. So, but 100% healed now. So 3 weeks out, Scott Coker booked the rematch. Let's go.